Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your country has turned into a killing ground. Neighbors against neighbors, friends against friends. And in the middle of the chaos, one man decides to risk everything, not to fight, but to protect. This is the true story of Paul Rusesabagina, the man who sheltered over 1,000 people during the 1994 Rwandan genocide, a story later told in the film Hotel Rwanda. Hey everyone! If you enjoy fascinating stories, hidden histories, and untold mysteries, you're in the right place. I put a lot of heart into creating these videos for you, and your support means the world to me. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. So, without further ado, let's dive into this story. Rwanda, a small country in East Africa, was home mainly to two ethnic groups, the Hutu majority and the Tutsi minority. For decades, colonial powers deepened divisions between them, labeling and favoring one group over the other. By the 1990s, tensions had reached a boiling point. On April 6, 1994, the plane carrying Rwanda's president was shot down. Within hours, a carefully planned campaign of violence erupted. The Hutu extremists launched a genocide against the Tutsi population. Over the next 100 days, an estimated 800,000 people were slaughtered. Paul Rusesabagina wasn't a soldier, a politician, or a revolutionary. He was simply the manager of the luxurious Hôtel de Mille Collines in Kigali. Born to a Hutu father and Tutsi mother, Paul learned to navigate both sides of Rwandan society. His job taught him diplomacy, how to negotiate, how to calm people down, how to use connections. And in April 1994, those skills would become his most powerful weapon. As killings broke out across Kigali, terrified Tutsi families rushed to the Mille Collines Hotel. Paul, realizing what was happening, opened the doors and gave them shelter. What started with a few dozen people soon became hundreds, and eventually over 1,200 men, women, and children were crammed into the hotel. But protecting them wasn't simple. Armed militias surrounded the area. Soldiers demanded bribes. At any moment, the killers could storm in. Paul used every resource he had, offering money, whiskey, cigars, even calling in favors from international contacts to keep the killers at bay. Life inside the hotel was a constant battle for survival. Food and water began to run out. The hotel's phone lines were cut, but Paul managed to secretly reconnect them, using the international press and foreign officials to shine a light on their situation. Outside, bodies filled the streets. Inside, people whispered prayers, trying to keep their children quiet so the killers wouldn't hear. Every knock on the door brought fear. Was it soldiers coming to finish them off? Or another desperate family seeking shelter? Paul knew he couldn't save everyone, but he was determined to save as many as possible. His calm voice and relentless bargaining kept the killers outside for weeks. The world knew what was happening, but help was slow. The United Nations had peacekeepers in Rwanda, but their mandate was limited. Many countries evacuated their own citizens and left Rwandans behind. For those trapped in the Mille Collines, Paul became their only shield. He phoned international contacts daily, begging them to put pressure on the Rwandan army. He reminded them, "If you let these people die, the world will know." As weeks passed, Paul's negotiations became more dangerous. Soldiers threatened him directly. At one point, militias prepared to storm the hotel. Paul calmly stood his ground, pleading, bribing, and leveraging every ounce of influence he had. Against all odds, the attack was called off. Slowly, international pressure grew. Convoys began evacuating survivors from the hotel. By July, the genocide ended as the Tutsi rebel group, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, took control of the country. Thanks to Paul's courage, over 1,200 lives were saved at the Mille Collines. But Rwanda was left shattered. Nearly 1 million people had been killed in just 3 months. Families were torn apart, communities destroyed. Paul eventually fled Rwanda and later wrote a memoir, An Ordinary Man, which inspired the 2004 film Hotel Rwanda. The movie brought his story to the world, showing how one man's compassion and courage made a difference in the face of overwhelming horror. The Rwandan genocide remains one of the darkest chapters in modern history. But within that darkness, Paul Rusesabagina's story reminds us that even in the worst of times, humanity can shine through. One ordinary man, armed not with weapons, but with words and courage, saved over 1,000 lives. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which other real-life stories should I cover next?